Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Sam from Zroder MMA Bet. In this video I'll be doing my card predictions for UFC on ESPN 39, Fiziev versus Dos Anjos. As always, let's go through the previous card results, then on to the picks and the bets, and then on to the breakdowns. If you wish to support the channel and know how the Patreon can make you more profitable, stick until the end, I'll show you how. Alright, so let's get real quick on the results of a previous card. So basically I risked 3.6 units, came back 2.75, so I lost nearly 1 unit on what I have shown to you guys, and then this makes 24% loss for this card if I'm gonna evaluate in percentage wise comparing to these amounts, right? The props I can show you guys, there was a prop that cashed nicely, but the rest of the props also I didn't cash, so the ending was small profit on the props, and the props, as I told you guys, exclusive on Patreon, so that's one of the reasons how you can be more profitable. But again, stick until the end if you wish to hear more about that. All right, so let's get on to this card, guys. All the picks and the bets between Jared Vanderaa and Chase Sherman. I'm picking betting Vanderaa, 0.8 units. David Onama versus Austin Lingo, picking Onama, not betting. Jamie Pickett and James Tilulin. I think it's Dennis Tilulin. I don't know, I had James in the head. It's Dennis, the name of the guy. So yeah, I'm picking Pickett but not betting. Antonina, Javchenko and Courtney Casey. I'm picking Javchenko, not betting. Kenan Nzechukwu and Cole Robertson, picking Nzechukwu, not betting. Kyle Borralho and Armin Petrosian, picking Borralho, not betting. Ronnie Lawrence and Said Yakub Kakramonov, picking and betting Lawrence. Trajan Gore versus Cody Brundage, picking and betting Gore. This is my second biggest bet of the card. I like a little bit the bet on Gore. And then Rafael Fiziev versus Rafael Dos Anjos. I think I'm picking Fiziev if I'm not mistaken, but I'm betting Dos Anjos. I'm waiting a little bit. Wait to see how people keep betting Fiziev. I want to bet Dos Anjos from plus 200. This is going to be my biggest bet of the card on Rafael Dos Anjos. All right, so let's get on to the breakdowns, guys. I'm gonna try to run this one fairly quickly because not so many fights I'm betting, so I'm gonna try to focus more on those that I am in fact betting or where I see opportunities. Between these two guys, this is a good fight actually. Onama probably he's known by his athleticism. He looked pretty good against Mogli Benitez. Actually, Benitez started off teeing off on Onama. I thought that he would get the finish there. My bet was on Benitez. He was an underdog, I think, plus 150 dogs, something like this. I thought that was a good bet. I still think it was, even though I lost. But Onama proved his toughness in there. Again, proved he's an athletic guy. Also showed good technique. He used it to be more like a guy, not so much with a structure in the game. In that fight, he both proved his toughness and showed good striking. Austin Lingo, a guy that's based on forward pressure. He's quite basic on the feet, likes to box, get inside, throw powerful hooks, try to slip some shots, go to the body and swing more to the head. It's not bad, it's an effective style, but it doesn't fit well this fight because Onama has much more power, he's faster, he's longer, more athletic, right? I think it's going to be tough for Lingo to land something clean. Even if he lands clean, I think he's going to eat one from Onama and it's not going to feel nice. I think Onama's tougher, right? Lingo is tough, the guy will push. He has a strong mentality, it looks like at least. But I'm not sure he's the most physically gifted guy, unfortunately. So I expect that Onama gonna find a knockout shot here, guys. I think the odds are slightly off, right? It would make sense for my calculations here to bet Lingo, but I'm gonna end up just passing on this one. But my pick is Onama by knockout here, guys. And here, I apologize, I forgot to update this one. So I would maybe bet Lingo here if I can get him by decision from plus 400, something like this, Not impossible, actually, to find this line. So probably my only betting here, since Onama by knockout gonna be very expensive, I'll maybe bet only Lingo by decision here. If he can push the pace, doesn't get knocked out, Onama can gas, something like this, Still tough to do it, plus 400, plus 450, minimum that. But rather than that, I'm going to pass on this one. Jimmy Pick and Dennis Tilulin. This is a little bit tough for me to predict because prior to the UFC, I haven't seen much on Tilulin. I was not able to find many fights. Against Alias Fiziev, he did pretty well, we knew that he would be out-grappled. It was not that bad, to be honest, he was able to escape, and then he showed his style there where he pushes forward, keeps coming until he breaks guys. He was not able to break Alias took him down and finish him. I think he's not going to be able to break Pickett either. Pickett is a very athletic guy. He's very long. Has a good, decent striking game. Not much power, but you cannot overlook Pickett's power. Person has decent wrestling game, decent grappling game. Not easy to take this guy down. Not that Dennis is a wrestler or going to try to take this to the ground. Actually, the opposite. I think Pickett will try to do that. I mean, I was almost betting Pickett here. I didn't bet just because I haven't seen from Tiluling prior to the UFC. I'm afraid that, the problem I have with Pickett is that he's not that effective in there, even though he's fairly talented and athletic gifted. He's not effective like those guys that keep throwing something, always being busy. He kind of stays in there, hangs in there. He used to be a super aggressive fighter, then he got knocked out, then he changed his style, which it worked until now, but I don't know, man. I think Tiluling actually can push the pace a little bit harder. This could go the distance and could go Tiluling's way, So maybe Tiluling by decision, gonna be my bet here from plus 350. I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to find this line, but I would like, right? Again, Pickett is not a bad parlay piece. I almost did it, right? But I think I'm going to be passing this one. Just try to be a little bit more safe here. Kennedy and Zechuk and Carl Robertson is another interesting one. And Zechuk, known for his endurance, pushes the pace, not much technique. At least he didn't try to be technical until his last bout. His last bout, he was trying to use the range, which was pretty good for him. I like what he did. The problem that he still doesn't have enough experience to make that effective. Prior to that fight, he was a guy that took all shots, runs through them because of the toughness, and then kept pushing the pace and broke guys down. If he fights his old self here, he should be considered a quite decent favorite, right? But if he's going to try to change technique for technique against Robertson, I think that Robertson can win this fight because Robertson has better kicks, right? He has a better, especially leg kicks, and Kennedy uses to have lots of weight on the front leg. So I don't know, man. If Kennedy respects Carl too much here, can start eating leg kicks, loses a little bit the movement. Robertson also is the better wrestler of the two here, the better grappler. Can also, time a takedown or something, especially after hurting his legs. I don't know, man. Again, I was very tempted to bet in Kennedy here. I just didn't bet Kennedy because he's not posting much, in terms of his training camp and his... And I don't know where this guy is at, right? Since he changed his style quite a bit the last fight. I don't know. I think at these odds, it doesn't feel much right to bet Kennedy, even though, again, I was very tempted to that. But in terms of a pick, I'll go with Kennedy by decision, but going to be passing in terms of a bet here, right? But I do expect that Kennedy pushes the pace harder here a little bit and either gets a decision or a late knockout. Also not impossible from like round 2, late round 3. Actually not bad idea to take a look at that odd. Kennedy by knockout round 2, round 3, maybe interesting too. Antonina, Javchenko, and Courtney Casey. Guys, at first I was thinking that Antonina would dominate this fight. Then I saw the footage on Casey. I thought that Casey can make it close. Then I saw more on Antonina. Especially the earlier fights on Antonina where she dominated. When she can be very dominant, especially when she starts landing, the overhand, she has a good kicker. When girls close down on her, she has very dangerous knees inside, good tight clinch. She's also not a bad grappler, Antonina. I know that people beat her up, taking her to the ground and, slamming her there. So she's not like a perfect grappler. Offensively, she's good, I think. That's the thing. And when you grab a hold of her, if you don't exactly have a strong wrestling style, she will beat you up in the clinch. Courtney Casey, she's not a, I can say similar things about Casey, even though she doesn't have, those long legs or those fast kicks and knees, but she's tough on the boxing, right? She steps back through lots of uppercuts and elbows. So she's similar to Antonina in the sense that she's mostly a striker and she doesn't like to get taken down, right? She's fairly easy to take down. But she's also a good grappler. She has submissions under her belt, and she's a legit BJJ player, right? In terms of striking here, gotta favor Antonina, I think, just because she's a little bit faster, to be honest, and has the knees and the kicks. I think in the boxing match, Courtney would, win. So in an MMA fight, it makes that fairly close. Javchenko, on the grappling part, guys, it's tough to tell, right? Because one problem that I have with Antonina here, I don't know how well she's training. It seems to me that she's sort of ending her career. She's putting lots of posts when she's piloting planes and all of that, right? I think she wants already to invest in her career past the UFC, something like this. But I could be wrong, right? She's still training with her sister. So I don't know. There are so many things in here. I think I'm going to be betting Casey by decision only here. Or maybe Casey from plus 180. I like if people keep betting Antonina. I hope they do. Because I would bet Casey here, right? I think she can make it close. But rather than that, I think Antonina by decision is the safest pick here. Caio Borralho and Armen Petrosian. This is a good one. Borralho super dynamic on the feet, right? I don't know, man. This guy likes to pump the jab 1-2, then he steps back, he goes flying knee, and he's very creative in there. He's also a good grappler, right? He's a big guy for the division. He's young, right? Similar things can be said about Petrosian, even though he's not dynamic. He's quite basic, but very fundamentally sound with the kickboxing. Very patient in there. Doesn't impose much his grappling, but not easy to take down, not easy to hold down. I think Borralho is the rightful favorite here just because he's more rounded, more difficult to prepare. I think he's also a little bit bigger, stronger, a little bit tougher maybe. Actually, maybe not tougher. It's tough to tell who's tougher here. They're both very tough. Petrosian ate some bombs against Gregor Rodriguez, survived, and that incredible pressure from top to the submissions and all of that. So these guys are very tough. This is a good fight, right? I mean, I think the price is there. I think the line is very correct for this one. Borralho should be the favorite. I don't know, man. I think if I'm gonna be betting, I'm gonna be as always betting the dog by decision because I don't see Petrosian finishing Borralho. I see more chances for Borralho finishing Petrosian, so it makes more sense for me to bet Petrosian, right? Because I think he has a chance, and I think it's only, not obviously it's never absolute, but I think Petrosian only by decision, so that's probably going to be by bet, but good fighting here. Jamie Malarkey and Michael Johnson. I think I didn't put this one in here. Actually, this is another one that I'm betting. I took an early bet on Malarkey. Yeah, I think I didn't put here. Or did I? No, I think I didn't. So Jamie Malarkey and Michael Johnson. It's another one that I'm betting. I think Malarkey is like 60% favorite. Would give this line as minus 200 as per the American odds. Just give me a second here. It's Jamie Malarkey, right, versus Michael Johnson. Yeah, guys. So this is an interesting one. I think I see quite some chances here for Malarkey for a finish, maybe something like this, like 20% chance for a knockout, 15% by 20% by knockout and 15 by sub. If Michael Johnson wins, maybe I think it's quite tough for Johnson to win a decision here, but by knockout, not impossible. Johnson can hit fairly hard. So the decision here would give 30%, something like this, And my bet on Malarkey I got when he was like minus 200, now it's minus 250. In this I would go like 1%, something like this on Malarkey. Yeah, something like this I bet on him. So what's the deal here, guys? I think Malarkey gonna do what he does, be more aggressive, get inside, throw the bombs, take it to the ground. Johnson doesn't fight well against guys that have that style, Johnson is excellent. He's fast. He has a good boxing game, evolved through the years with the takedown defense and all of that. Nowadays, it's not easy to take this guy down and just punch him. But like I told you guys, Jamie Malarkey, he has striking, he has power. He's so big. The man is 6 feet tall. Malarkey, he's pretty, not that long, but the man is pretty big, and the pressure, right? I don't think Johnson can handle that, at least at this point of their career. As I was saying, Johnson doesn't like this style where the guys pressure him and they are around it. That's the case for Malarkey. I have Malarkey at minus 200, by my calculation, as I showed you guys, but he's now minus 250, which makes things tricky, but I still would bet Malarkey at these odds. At least I would parlay him. So I think that's the way to go here, guys. I think Malarkey as a parlay piece. I wouldn't go too crazy, but still I think it's quite a decent pick in here. Jared Van Der and Chase Sherman. Similar fight, similar comment as I said about the previous fight. Sherman, I think he's past his prime, even though he's fairly young still. I think, unfortunately, this guy didn't quite perform to his best ability in the UFC. He used it to have such a strong chin, started getting hit all the time, started getting knocked out. He never quite came back, probably mentally, to the fight game, right? He actually went out away from the UFC, won 3 fights, came back, won against Ike Villanueva, then started losing again. I don't think Van Der gonna give him some chances here. I think Van Der gonna push the pace, gonna push him, take him to the ground and smash him, right? I think that's gonna happen here. I tried betting Sherman before. I think this guy has talent, but I don't know. I think at this point he lost so much that I don't see much. I think he has probably some mental block at this point, right? I think he has to move to some other organization like Bellator or PFL to perform then and forget about the UFC, Probably he's traumatizing here. I don't know. I'm over evaluating the psychological aspect of Sherman here, but I don't know. I think it's very much possible. But in terms of a bet, I think I like Van Der a little bit more. I think he's a little bit tougher, at least at this point. He's definitely more well-rounded. I think he pushes the pace and basically wins this fight. All right, so I'm betting Van Der here. Quite tricky because per my calculation here, he's minus 200. He's exactly that. So still, I think there's some value in there for Van Der. All right, I wouldn't go too crazy. Obviously, Sherman, like I told you guys, has talent. He's athletic. He's a big guy, right? Could knock Jared out. Could surprise me here, proving me wrong that he's 100% committed. He comes at his best and outperforms Jared, outspeeds him. Chase has a speed advantage, but I don't see much, at least at this point. All right, Ronnie Lawrence and Said Yakub, Kak Ramonov. It's a high-level fight, guys. Ronnie Lawrence, incredible wrestling. This guy makes it look easy to take guys down and just dominate from top with the grappling, right? So I don't know. Don't have much to say. This guy is very dynamic on the feet, very fast. Tough to hit, fast with the leaping 1-2 shots, swings, and then just takes guys to the ground whenever he wants. It's gonna be interesting here because Said Yakub showed good takedown defense. He's young, he's strong, right? Seems to have a good base to defend takedowns. We'll see what happens here, guys. I think Lawrence gonna take Said Yakub down. Let's see if Said Yakub can escape fast enough to make this fight interesting. Said Yakub hits hard on the feet. That's his specialty. He, a good kickboxing, tough guy, young, lean, fit. He will come forward. He will try to, crack, but using technique and whatnot. I don't know, man. I think the value is on Lawrence, especially by decision. I don't see much of a chance for Lawrence for a finish unless he can obviously take his back and choke him out. Can obviously finish with that. But I don't see much. I think Said Yakub, he's disciplined with the takedown defense. He's not going to just give his back, right? I think he will fight in here. Still, I think Lawrence has more chances to be dominant with the wrestling. But I'm not crazy here. I think there is value in Lawrence, but nothing wild. But I'm gonna go Lawrence here. And if you're picking or betting Said Yakub, I don't blame you. I think this guy has potential. But let's see. It's gonna be a legit test to both of them. Trajan Gore, Cody Brundage. I told you guys this is my biggest bet of the card. My second biggest, right? So Trajan Gore, I see lots of potential for this guy. I know that he has only 3 or 4 fights, right? I think 4. He lost last one to Brian Battle. Guys, I think I see only great things about Trajan Gore. I just don't see him too much as a long-term middleweight because I think he's fairly small in there, right? He's not that tall, not that large or powerful or anything. But similar things can be said about Cody Brundage, another guy that's fairly talented. he's quite tough in there. Won some good bouts. Actually, the last bout I was thinking that he would lose to Lun Jambula, but he won. He proved his toughness. In here, I think he can still prove his toughness, but I think Trajan Gore is better everywhere. I think on this striking, there's a decent gap. Cody Brundage, people talk about his wrestling. I don't see much. I mean, he's not bad. Obviously, he has a decent double leg and the leg trip and all this stuff, but I don't see much of a high level wrestling or something. I think actually Trajan Gore has more chance to take this to the ground because I like him, his timing a little bit. He sets things up better. The only way I can see Trajan Gore losing here is whether he doesn't come with confidence, right? He comes like gun shy type of things or try to have a perfect fight. I think he has to come and fight here. If he does, he's going to be dominant. Even if it doesn't come at his best, I still think he can win this one quite comfortably. But I'm not ruling Cody totally out of here. But anyway, I think this is there's a good value in Trajan Gore, in my opinion. I have him at 60% at least. Right, the line has him as pick him, so there's a good value in there. And if this guy performs at his best, I think he could easily jump to 65 to 70% favorite, right? I think this guy has lots of talent. He's fast, he's technical. In my opinion, the better wrestler of the two. Definitely the better grappler of the two. So to me, it's Trajan Gore all day. But like I said, you guys, he's inexperienced, only 4 fights, and he doesn't perform at his best. Never know, right? So nothing too crazy, but I do see good value in Trajan Gore. Rafael Fiziev and RDA, Rafael dos Anjos. Nothing to comment about this fight. It's a high-level fight. Fiziev, known for the Muay Thai, can do a little bit of everything, evolved throughout the years. Guys, to be honest here, you have either Fiziev with the Muay Thai and you're going with him because he's younger. You can always make a case for the young gun. We know how difficult it is after you cross the 35 years of age in MMA or in any sport in that regard, right? But I do see RDA still, training hard in the gym. This guy seems to have such a strong work ethic. He has way better well-rounded game here. He's the wrestler. He's the grappler of the two. He's no slouch in the feet. RDA came also from the kickboxing background, right? He's not the level of Fiziev. Fiziev is the better striker, right? But it's not that far, especially in MMA when you have to mix the takedowns and all the clinching and all of that, right? I mean, guys, I think RDA is coming to win this fight. I like RDA here. Actually, I'm picking RDA here in my here, and then in here I put that I was picking Fiziev. Anyway, it doesn't matter who I'm picking. I just care about whom I'm betting and if I'm winning that. So why do I think RDA is either a live dog, either should be considered the favorite, nearly a pick 'em here? Because RDA gonna move forward, guys. He has good leg kicks. He will push Fiziev back and he will shoot. We will see probably in the first round, Fiziev gonna be able to stop that, right? And if RDA doesn't get finished, I do see good chances that he picks up the pace, especially from the third. From the third round, I do see RDA being very dominant here, imposing his experience, the experience in 5-round fighters, in five-round fights. Yeah, Fiziev is not the biggest guy as well. Obviously, he's young. Maybe he's stronger here, but RDA fought as a welterweight. He's coming back, right? He has a legit size as a lightweight. Like I told you guys, if you're betting Fiziev here, for one of the two, you either are overvaluing his use in the Muay Thai, which is probably 50-50 to that, plus people don't know, I'm not sure what. I think this is probably the reason, right? People probably betting Fiziev. Look at the age on RDA, look at the age of Fiziev, look at one Muay Thai Fiziev and just go, Fiziev gonna win this fight. But I don't know, man. Definitely RDA here, in my opinion. I really hope not you guys, right? My viewers. But I really hope the general public keep betting Fiziev. I like to take RDA here at a better price. From plus 200, I'm going 2 units on RDA, so it's a medium quality bet. That's why it was yellow there in my spreadsheet. But I really hope that people keep betting Fiziev, the better lines that I get on RDA here, the more money I'm going to lay on him. If I can get him at plus 250, I'm going to go easily 2.5 or even more units. Plus, I'm going to be betting RDA by decision in here. All right. Fiziev has more chance for the finish, right? Especially by knockout. But anyway, RDA also can finish Fiziev by strikes, by submission, and all of that, right? So this is all for this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, subscribe, share with your friend. How does my Patreon can help you? I have 2 tiers for you guys. One is, this is in Brazilian reais, but $10 US dollar, $50 US dollar. For 10, what do you guys have? You guys have, obviously, all the chat with me. You can ask me your questions, my opinion on things. Plus, you guys have the post that I do, post weightings and the props. Plus this material here, guys. In this material, it's released prior to the video, and I have here my so in summary here, my breakdowns, right? So in every single one of the fights, you guys can take this. Plus, take your time to take a look at this material. I think it helps. And like I told you guys, I have all my posts on the props and the post weightings or extra bets that I take. So in this case, just to show you guys to be fair also, I took some extra bets here on Uriah Hall, I didn't cash. On Cannonier also I didn't cash. Also Max lost, right? But the one that actually cashed was the only one that actually saved the day there to me was Torarenko round 1 submission plus 1,000. So I got that, right? Plus I bet the Strickland by decision he also lost. So this was the one that saved me. But anyway, just to show you guys, obviously this was not too much of a good example, right? Because that one I lost. But let's take a look on the previous one, Tsarukian and Gonrod. So that one I cashed on Shailan, I cashed on this one a tough one. No, this I didn't cash. And I cashed on Tsarukian and Gonrod going the distance. Plus on this one before, I talked about Gonrod by decision and all those things. So just to show you guys how it looks like. And for $50, it's your biggest appreciation to the channel, plus the props line by line. So just to show you guys in the last one, how did it look like? It was especially Yulia Storelenko by decision. So this cashed 1.5 unit of profit. It ended up giving me a tiny profit on props, right? But from previous card here also some good props that cashed. This one I made 1.65 units more or less. In here, this was a massive one from the other card. Curtis and Vieira going the distance. It was my biggest bet on prop, and it cashed nicely, nearly 1.5 unit profit. So just to show you guys how it looks like, all right? Plus with the $50, you guys have access to this material. You guys can take a look how much I'm betting and all of that, all right? Again, guys, thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys next time. Sam from Rodder Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.